apparently with the Switch 2, you can use the Joy-Con as one of these things right here.
A
mouse. According to basically every rumor and everything we've seen out there, there is a little sensor on the bottom that looks like an optical sensor from a mouse, and I'm guessing that's what everybody's running with that thought. So what are the possibilities here?
HMK, go. Burst
so many.
He's
like
I've
seen a proof of concept video from Game Explain. It's like, yo, Mario Maker, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But I need y'all to understand. Kid Icarus Uprising HD with a mouse sensor, right? For aiming, and then you use the other controller for like, everything else you would do. Yeah. And then there's also the possibility, I don't know how far, because I've been talking about this on my stream for a couple of days. I don't know how far they will go with this. And then also it depends on how clean you keep your fingers. So imagine one of the Joy-Cons as your mouse. And then, I've been seeing rumor speculation. The whole was, I'm pretty sure you guys heard about this, about the idea that the Switch 2 is going to be able to communicate with its dock in order to recreate kind of like the concept from the Wii U, right? So that you'll have the console itself, like, the touchpad on your lap or on your hand or anything like that. And then, the dock will be able to stream the game in real time, aside from what's on the console itself to your TV. And then imagine that you can use that as a type of keypad of sorts while you have the Joy-Con in your hand to replicate the idea of, typing on a keyboard and having this as your mouse. So you can play things like Marvel Rivals on Switch 2 or anything like that. I'm just saying, there's a lot to work with when it comes to just this.
Sure. I mean, in situations like that, I think I just plug in the keyboard. Mouse and keyboard, by the way, is supported on Switch. There are some games that use it. Very few. So yeah, mouse and keyboard is supported on Switch. So this is kind of one of those things where maybe Nintendo saw, hey, some people are using this in some of the games. Maybe we should just give them the ability built in, make it easier. So even on the go, if you don't have your mouse, you'd have a quick mouse access. It was funny because when I talked about this on live stream, I asked the audience, I was like, hey man, how many of you guys play at a desk with a monitor? And there was a surprising amount of people that play their Switch docked at a desk. And I sat there and I'm like, you know what? That Nintendo might have been thinking about something here. Because you remember, they thought about tabletop mode, which again, not a lot of people use. It gets used sparingly. I think more people would be willing to use a mouse at a desk than even tabletop mode. So even in tabletop mode, you're at a table, you could use the mouse. So I think Nintendo probably saw an opportunity here to be like, hey, we can come up with some crazy stuff here. Think about some of the mini games we could pull off with Mario Party. And the thing is, optical mice, they're not they're actually very flexible in the surfaces they can work on. I'm wearing sweatpants right now. I can put my mouse on my sweatpants and I can move it around. I don't even need a table surface. So if it's a quick mini game thing, imagine that they have this game where you put the thing down on your leg and you got to rub it up and down to do something in a Mario Party. Nintendo's gonna do something like that.
That sounds like, remember those old ass toys, those cars that you have to rev up a little bit and then you let it go. Kind of that could be a mini game in a Mario Party game.
That could be, yeah. They can have that pullback function, yeah. So I'm thinking of all the games they could do in that, or a WarioWare game is gonna do some crazy, dumb, really stupid. They'll make you use both of them as a mouse and have to go like this and wax on or wax off or something. It's to me, I feel like this was a very smart gimmick. Assuming obviously this is all right. Nintendo hasn't officially confirmed, nothing's announced, but assuming that this is right, because this is what all the leaks are pointing to this being correct. If this is the use, I think it's a smart gimmick because it doesn't take away from what Switch is. It doesn't change anything really. You still have your basic controls, right? You have everything that we've had on the normal Switch besides the IR camera, which was already barely used. And now you're just adding additional functionality. Even think about it. We have Call of Duty coming. Imagine we can click headshot now.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is,
interesting. Yeah.
Take your current Joy-Con, turn it sideways, set it down like a mouse. It's actually not that uncomfortable. It's really not, surprisingly.
Does an optical sensor like that, would that help with motion control, almost kind of like Wii era type stuff? Would that improve motion controls, the accuracy of it, or do we? I guess if you're holding it and you're covering it, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, the thing is like some people talked about, well, it's an IR thing, so could they use it for that? I'm like, yeah, but if it's shooting a literal laser, like like a mouse sometimes does, you can't always see it. Like I can't see it on this unless I look directly down it because it's angled a certain way because they don't want you to shoot it in your eye because it's not good for you. For that to work, they'd have to shoot it at a sensor that's over by your thing. That's how the Wii did it. And it does. I would venture to guess that's probably not the case because then you could only use it in one specific mode. Whereas like it just being a normal standard mouse, you could use that in every mode. Some people have talked about how like some IR cameras can like do basically what the IR sensor did in the last one, sense when a mouths are open and shut. And also, I think Nintendo just abandoned that idea. I think they just said, hey, look, the old Joy-Con are still compatible. You can still connect them via Bluetooth. You can still play those games if you want. You'll just, hey, we already released a charging stand. So we already gave you a way to charge it that you don't need, so because you buy Switch 2, you trade it in, have extra Joy-Cons, buy the charging stand for $30 or whatever. But I think Nintendo made a very, very smart decision here. I kept thinking like, hey, Civ 7's coming out on Switch. That'd be so much better with a mouse. So much. That game would be so much better with a mouse. And there's like a lot of games like that are actually just factually better with a mouse, even without a keyboard. Even just like moving with one stick and a mouse, there are a lot of games that would actually benefit from that. So again, it's always going to be an optional control. I don't know if there's going to be any game that's like you have to use it, but options are better than not having options. And so to me, this is a gimmick that already makes sense because it's a common item we all have used at some point in our lives. Most of us have. Obviously, there's some kids out there that have maybe never done anything but touch a screen, but or a touchpad. They've never used a real mouse. But I think that this is Nintendo. This might be a home run idea, if I'm being completely honest. This might be the way. Let's go to Thunderstash. What are you thinking here?
I mean, I think it's brilliant. And then you also think about like the cost factor. How much does it cost to do this?
Optical sensors are cheap.
Exactly.
You can buy like
so brilliant.
$5. It's like nothing.
Yeah, it's just like it's crazy to think that no one's ever done this, right? Because when we first saw it, it's like, dude, this makes so much sense. This is
Mario Paint back in the day, baby.
Yeah, but I mean,
Nintendo mouse
built into a controller.
Yeah, it wasn't built in. Yeah. You had to buy an accessory.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And of course, I was just talking about that with both chats and Mario Paint, right? At the very least, bring it to NSO. The chances that we get a new Mario Paint, I don't know about that. But at least bring the original to NSO. There's still people who play that. Did you guys know that? Like, there's still people making YouTube videos.
Oh yeah,
like that are related to Mario Paint. That there's like a community.
That's insane
for Mario Paint. Yeah, it is pretty insane.
Oh, is that the same program you can do? You can like make the music tracks in.
Yes.
Is that? I think that's like the big thing that people do.
It is.
That for. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's okay.
You're right.
That is a cool game.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think about all the PC gamers, right? That prefer only playing with a mouse. And I gotta wonder how much this would attract them. For the most part, if you're a PC gamer, you're like pretty cemented in the PC scene. But I gotta imagine that this is definitely perking some interest from the PC crowd, which is great. Because that's a crowd that I don't think's really migrated over to Nintendo, let alone other consoles. So I thought about that as well. It's like, that's a good opportunity as well to bring some of them over. Maybe that'll get them to come over if they know they can play games like Call of Duty or Civ 7, like you mentioned, with a mouse setup that's actually intuitive and makes sense. So, I think if we also look at, what was it, Real Handheld on Reddit, the one who posted all the leaks.
Oh, Next Handheld,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at him, and I mean, this is basically what he explained, that there was going to be a special feature.
Yeah, he said
at the top of the mouse,
at the top of the controller when you disconnected it. And what's the top of the controller you disconnected? You turn it sideways. It's the rail. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said he didn't want to give it away, but I mean, just looking at everything he said, that's a story in itself, because that's all coming realization here. So yeah, I'm really excited about the mouse. Should be really cool. I gotta imagine again, like you said, WarioWare. That was one of the games that comes to mind. Nintendo's going to do some really interesting, goofy stuff with it. It should be a lot of fun. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, and like almost all the consoles support like a mouse and keyboard setup, but I think the idea is that if you have that mouse integration, just there, everyone has it. It's much more likely to be integrated and significantly more games.
Exactly.
That's the exciting part. Like Nintendo is just kind of like, hey, we're kind of merging PC and console together. Like, hey, what did we do last time? We merged handheld and console together. Let's bring a little bit of the goodness from PC over as well. Why not? And I think that's great. I mean, there's one PC handheld that does it as well. Legion Go. You could disconnect the right controller, and then they have a little stand you put it in, and then you can move it around like a mouse. Now that's still not as intuitive as this because you still got to put it in an accessory. This doesn't look like you need an accessory. Now Nintendo might sell accessories. People will 3D print, ones to make it even more ergonomic. Nintendo might sell an official Nintendo keyboard at some point as well. Just if you want to go mouse and keyboard in some games. As a PC gamer, this excites me because this brings everything I love together: traditional console and PC, and on the go, and easily docked, and all the Nintendo goodness. Come on. What? I almost don't need anything. All right, PC, time to ship you off. Selling your ass.
Jeez.
I can't help but think of all the mods, like people modifying the Switch. This is just a PC on the. It's basically it's just a PC on the go at that point. Like I don't know. Like it'd be wild to see some of the cool things people start doing with that. And the accessibility features of it is just going to be wild. It's like there's so many things that you don't even think about that now that you're like, whoa, wait, the realm of possibility is endless. I'm so excited.
Hell yeah. Gamebird, what are you thinking, bud?
Yeah, I love this idea. I'm definitely in the camp of they're going to need some accessories to slot it into to make it more ergonomic and comfortable. Especially if they're going to start like catering to, like HMK said, some of their other established properties like Mario Maker, where you're going to be spending a lot of time using it. Maybe they incorporate some ARPG stuff, some like Diablo-like games, and you could have one Joy-Con where you press in your skills and your other to point and click. I mean, everyone loves ARPGs, preferably on PC because it's so much easier to navigate your inventory and go through the menus. So I see a lot of really cool stuff with RTS's ARPG, like Pikmin. You can do some really cool stuff with Pikmin, obviously.
Oh yeah,
where you're
Pikmin
managing
5,
units
baby, let's
and
go.
stuff like that.
Good call.
So like,
yeah, that's a good one.
So the application and it's Nintendo, so like when Nintendo does anything, there's always like a weird spin on it that no one sees coming. When they do their battle royale, it's Tetris and Mario 35. When they do their third-person online competitive shooter, it's Squids with ink, where it's not about kills, it's about ink coverage. So there's always some weird thing they do. I think about the Wii U and Nintendo Land and how cool the applications were with the gamepad, as well as the Wiimotes with that game. So I feel like there definitely will be some sort of selling title that goes along. Maybe it's their big mini game thing. Maybe it's their new Nintendo Land or their new Wii Sports that's going to utilize this mechanic. But I think it's really cool. I think it's a neat idea. Definitely think we need some sort of accessory to make it comfy, because obviously the new Joy-Con is going to be bigger. We don't quite know exactly how it feels, but I could see how playing with like even 30 minutes on a sideways Joy-Con probably isn't ideal, to be honest. As cool as it sounds.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be third-party accessories that come out that you'll be able to plug it into. Obviously, people will 3D print all their solutions as well.
Do you think there'll be a first-party accessory, kind of like, because like this accessory is incled with your Switch, like when you buy it? Do you think there'll be a mouse type one included with the Switch too? Assuming that's the what they want you to do with it.
I'd say either included with this. I think either included with the Switch 2 or included with a title that strictly incorporates
like a Mario
only
Kart
use that
Wii,
mouse
Wii
function
wheel
with the game. Kind of like Ring Fit. Yeah, like a Wii wheel.
Okay. Like a little, I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
You know, I was just Googling games. What did I Google? Games that are better with a mouse. And
all of them.
I just clicked on the first article here. Cyberpunk 2077. Again, that's a game we've talked about coming to Switch too, right? Numerous times.
Any game with shooting.
Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Fallout, another one we talked about coming to Switch. Minecraft. It's like, oh yeah, man, you know, like just thinking about this. This is big time for sure.
My rule of thumb
deal. No Man's Sky.
My rule of thumb, there's exceptions, of course. My rule of thumb with that is if it's first person, mouse and keyboard all the way. If it's third person, 9 times out of 10, it's a controller game. There's some exceptions like Marvel Rivals. That's still mouse and keyboard better. But for the most part, like if you're driving a car, GTA, or I don't know, things like that.
Splatoon 4 is gonna go nutty.
Yeah,
I got a good one.
Competitive side of that's gonna be insane.
Fortnite's third person. Fortnite's better with mouse and keyboard.
I argue controller,
but it's fine with
I can't. Yeah, I can't deal with that mouse and keyboard stuff. When it comes to Fortnite specifically, but other games definitely. But I want to interject super quickly. I don't know if you guys saw this, but like 20 minutes ago, it looks like Switch 2 accessories are popping up on GameStop, which include SD cards that go all the way up to 512 gigabytes and Joy-Con charger grips.
Are they the Express SD cards?
Yes. The Switch 2 SD Express SD card the SKU numbers are showing up on GameStop right now.
See, when I say everything to these guys, it just keeps happening.
Find this. I need to find this stuff.
I got
you. Can we get this pulled up?
Yeah, I got you.
On the big screen.
How do I send it? Wait, I'm just gonna send it to Nate on Twitter.
I think I found it. Is it the image from the GameStop backend?
It's from Pori Leaks, and it's on the GameStop. I'm gonna just pull up the image right here. I got it.
Okay, because I found one that looks like it's from the back end of GameStop.
All right, that one.
That one. Let me check the DMs here if that's the same one. If it's the same one, then we're good. Yeah, it's the same one. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and I'll share it here. It's like I got it ready. It is. All right, here it is.
Oh, and they just keep coming. This
is let's change it up here. This is you know what? It was better the other way. You can cut my ass off.
Yeah, I gotta throw this on the big one.
Yeah, my ass don't matter. Or someone got cut off. Anyways, HMK got cut off. Half of lamb.
It's okay.
Just got me.
No, wait. This is probably the way. This is the way. Cut my ass off. My ass can get cut off.
Okay.
So here you go. This is GameStop backend. This is the back end of GameStop. So this is somebody on their GameStop computer typing in Switch 2.
Yeah.
And,
like the store computer. Okay.
Yeah. I used to do this all the time when I worked at Best Buy back 20 plus years ago.
Oh, man. Dude, so things are now popping up in GameStop SKUs. We've seen accessories happen out in Amazon Japan. We have accessories that are available to pre-order out there. And now we're literally seeing Joy-Con charger grip for Switch 2.
What you know about those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thumb grips, guys?
Right?
Then also these guys.
$12.99. What a steal!
No surprise. Okay. Charger grip not included in the box. That's what I'm learning here. Not really surprised. Nintendo sold this separately last time too. So,
see, this is what falls in line with like what you expect for leaks to come out shortly before a console. It's the other stuff that's just wild. Like this stuff, it's like it's not out of the ordinary to be like, oh, they're selling micro SDs for the new system, or there's a charger for the new Joy-Cons. I do love the idea though of all of these leaks being false and Nintendo just laughing their asses off at like their corporate table, like they have no idea.
Yeah,
but it's looking less and less like that is the case, obviously.
Yep.
This is like look, literally, we're doing a podcast and more stuff leaked. Like it's just
right.
It doesn't. It's not. I think in general we're all like Nintendo. Come on,
just
like
I've seen a lot of interesting posts on social media talking about how like this is beneficial for Nintendo, and the conspiracy theories saying that Nintendo's the one behind spreading this kind of stuff. Where like I agree on the idea that it is beneficial to Nintendo because when you look at us, we're all hyped for it, right? There's nothing but positive, energy when it comes to this leaks. But to the idea that like, Nintendo's the one behind this, like a lot of y'all need to understand, Nintendo corporate, they're full of old heads that despise this kind of stuff. Right. So like if any of this stuff like turns out to be legitimate, which I'm pretty sure like 75 to 9% like of the stuff we've seen is like legit, they're seething about it. Like because Nintendo loves nothing more than to be in control of what they show off.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
That's working out to their favor, but they don't like it that way. They rather do it their own way.
Eric?
Yeah. Everyone's talking about Switch 2. So
my body is ready for Switch.
Stash, you had one thing that you were gonna.
Oh yeah,
and then I'll
I was thinking about a game that I fully expect to come to Switch 2 by a third-party developer who we already know is going to be giving support right out of the gate. EA, The Sims. Oh, dude, The Sims is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And everybody asked for that on the Switch. So many people asked for that. So I'm just like, yeah, dude, The Sims. Oh man, that's going to be cool. So I think that was the only other game. There's so many other ones, but The Sims, I think that could sell a lot. And they're working on the new one, right? Like they have been for years, from what I've gathered. Sims 5.
I think we're at 5 right now. Yeah.
Well, is there a 5th one out?
No, I don't think so.
They're working on the 5th one, right?
I think they're still making the. They just keep making X packs for 4.
Yeah, because I remember downloading Sims 4 because the lady wanted to play it, and she was like,
Sims
I really
4 is the latest one.
Sims game on the Switch. And I've heard this many of times, so I'm like, oh, this is going to be big. Be able to play that with a mouse.
This really makes me wonder what like the next Animal Crossing could be like with this kind of technology.
Yeah, you're right. Animal Crossing would actually be really great for it. Like there's just so many uses for a mouse. I'm just actually like, because we remember all the stuff that we were speculating about over time. Because like Sakurai wanted it, like the scroll wheel button, that we talked about like last year, the year before. Like, oh yeah, cool
That's
idea.
where I was gonna go, Nate.
Oh yeah, go yeah.
So you guys are talking about Switch 2's features. I'm already on the Switch 3 feature. That's gonna be the Switch 3 feature. Because guess what? What we're gonna do
crazy.
Is a little thing like this with a cutout there that you can just lay your Joy-Con in, and right there's your scroll wheel with the wheels.
That's gonna be a third party. Some third party's gonna add a wheel to it. I bet.
Yeah. But that was what I was thinking. I'm like, you could so totally like just make like a fake mouse like thing that you could just set your Joy-Con in and just be like perfect moving around. And then next one they just slap wheels on it and you're good.
Yeah.
Eric, what if the scroll wheel is already there and that's the key that's been missing from all the leaks?
I mean, that'd be awesome.
Everyone's going based off these molds. Imagine the scroll wheel's already there. Sakurai got it in.
There, and that's and the molds all have it wrong, baby.
Yeah. No,
that's gonna be the first thing to break.
They didn't like the scroll wheel. They didn't like the scroll wheel.
Right. One other thing I was thinking of is how do you think that they're going to somehow find a way to include a USB like adapter so that you can use your Joy-Con as an actual mouse with the PC?
See, I was thinking the other way around.
Maybe Bluetooth it.
I do. I think they'll include.
You can already Bluetooth the Joy-Con. You can already Bluetooth the Joy-Con, so you just Bluetooth the other ones. You don't really need a dongle.
Yeah, because that would make it really nice for travel. Because heck, now you don't have to travel with a mouse.
Oh yeah, if you're someone who's using a mouse casually with your laptop, when you travel,
like sync up the mouse to your like.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say like to your tablet, but I mean like the Switch too, like
you got the tablet right there.
It is a tablet.
Yeah.
If you're out and you just bring your laptop along or something and traveling, you don't have to worry about bringing a mouse with. You can now actually just Bluetooth it to your PC, and you got a mouse now.
You know what we're not talking about? A browser. How about a browser, baby?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, bring back Opera.
web browser this time. Officially, technically, there's been a browser this whole time that you can access. Oh, I forgot my password for Facebook.
It's a slight change in topic, but I just keep seeing this video from Pori.
Yeah.
So I just watched their entire account.
Yeah, it's in the next topic because it's from Genki.
Okay.
Genki's doing their thing.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't realize it was okay. See it.
Yeah, we're good. It'll be in there. Eric, by the way, Karkun is excited you're back. I'm just letting you know.
Thank you.
Eric hasn't been on in a bit, so hot minute.